Uh, as a longtime fan of White Collar, I must say that the prospect of a revival has me more excited than a cat with a shiny new ball of yarn. The intricate plots and the dynamic duo of Neal and Peter have always kept me on the edge of my seat uh, in the final episode of White Collar series, as well as after the show concluded. The fate of former swindler turned FBI consultant Neal Caffrey truly wrapped up his character development journey. And the series chronicled Caffrey's life post-prison release under FBI agent Peter Burke. Tim DeKay's watchful eye. As a criminal informant within the FBI's unique work release program, Burke initially harbored doubts due to Neal's reputation for deceit. However, they eventually formed an unconventional partnership that evolved into a sincere friendship. Enthusiasts are eagerly anticipating the reunion of Neal with Peter Burke on television in an upcoming revival. The USA Network series concluded its 6-year run in 2014, ending with a truncated season consisting of only 6 episodes. In the final episodes of White Collar, Neal and Peter join forces once more, pursuing the elusive Pink Panthers, but not all went smoothly as planned. How White Collar ended, White Collar seemingly ended with a big death, following Neal and Peter joining forces to unmask the Pink Panthers and capture them. The FBI ultimately managed to apprehend the criminals. However, certain aspects of their operation encountered problems, leading to a shootout between Neal and his working class counterpart, Matthew Keller, Ross McCall. In a dramatic turn of events, Peter successfully apprehended Keller, who had made off with stolen cash, by firing at him in self-defense, but not before Keller wounded Neal's severely. As the medics rushed Neal to the hospital, he was visited by his dearest friend, Peter. Unfortunately, the doctors later confirmed that Neal had succumbed to his injuries. This wasn't the expected ending for White Collar fans, but given Neal Caffrey's knack for outsmarting everyone, it was only fitting that there would be a surprising conclusion to keep viewers guessing. The White Collar ending twist. Neal Caffrey had one last con. A year after I believe Neal had passed away, my son and I, along with my wife, Elizabeth, have been living our lives. Recently, I bumped into Modzi, a close associate of Neal, who seems to be back on the streets of New York, hustling people with his card games. This meeting left me feeling uneasy about Neal's supposed fate, leading me to revisit Neal's storage locker in search of any clues that might suggest he's still alive. And in the process of uncovering the tools he'd used for his elaborate plan to flee, Neal came to understand that he had been deceived by his ex-informant. He had devised a new strategy involving crisis actors like the EMT who tended to him and the hospital doctor who verified his demise. To top it off, Neal staged his own death by ingesting medication to temporarily slow his heart rate, ensuring that every aspect of his scheme was flawlessly executed. At the conclusion of White Collar, it's shown that Neal is leisurely walking through the streets of Paris, France, suggesting he has a new job opportunity, this time in the Europe. This theory is reinforced by the headline in Peter's storage unit about increased security at the Louvre, indicating that Neal may have been researching the intricate details of the famous museum with the intention of obtaining one of its priceless artifacts. Instead of showing signs of betrayal or seeking another confrontation with Neal, Peter instead flashed a smile. And although Peter had long anticipated that Neal might return to criminal activities upon his release, Neal had nonetheless done much good prior to that point. This suggests that Peter is pleased that his former partner remains alive and active, even if he may once again be involved in questionable behavior and end up after Midden Academy. And I decided to make less time after a time in every certain building, and though occasionally risky existence. His illicit activities appear to no longer be driven by financial gain. Rather, he cherishes the adrenaline rush of executing intricate cons. And given Europe's vibrant artistic community, it wouldn't be surprising if Neal hopped from one country to another, orchestrating different capers. A white-collar revival could change Neal's fate. It could also explain Neal leaving in the first place. The original series, White Collar, is set for a comeback with its creator, Jeff Easton, writing the new scripts. Notably, the stars,
Matt Bomer, Tim DeKay, and Tiffany Thiessen have agreed to return as Neal, Peter, and Elizabeth.
Since Neal faked his death in the original series and fled to another country, the revival offers an opportunity to alter his destiny. The revival series might not permanently kill off Neal, but it could explain why Neal faked his death and left his friends. It may also show him admitting to this decision. Although he had devised plans to escape the scrutiny of his FBI associates in the past, he regretted leaving them behind. He developed genuine friendships with those he worked with, particularly Peter, pondering over Neal's decision to stage his demise and abandon the life he crafted, feels both true to the cunning rogue yearning for excitement, yet unexpected from the man who cherishes friendships so deeply. Was it merely a weariness from his FBI career, or a readiness to embark on a fresh adventure? The identity of his accomplices remains a mystery, one that the revival series might unveil for devoted fans of the show. In essence, it's clear that Neal kept everyone, including Peter, Elizabeth, and even his confidant Mozzie, in the dark when it came to his decision to stage his death, despite typically involving Mozzie in his schemes. This time was different. Sadly, with Willie Garson passing away in 2021, the revival won't be able to feature Mozzie directly. However, it may reveal the extent of Mozzie's knowledge about Neal's plan, if he knew anything at all. Whatever reunites Neal and Peter in the White Collar revival should be a significant event. Reunite to provide a satisfying conclusion regarding Neal's fake death. The revival needs to address this matter first, allowing it to then explore the fresh narrative properly.